Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of Warships. Today it's one of my replays again, and I'm in the Bajie, and I'm terribly sorry for mispronouncing it. Now this is basically a Pan-Asian Izumo, and I mean it's a premium ship, it looks fancy, and I think it doesn't have the fully upgraded hull of the Izumo if I remember correctly. Not sure what other changes there are, but yeah, it's more or less just an Izumo. Hello Akisuki. Also, I'm on the map charts in a 3-point domination game, and we are the only tier 9s actually. This is a top tier game with us the only tier 9s. This is like a lottery win as matchmaking is concerned. There's no carrier, there is a sub though, but you know, this is as perfect as matchmaking is ever gonna get, I guess. So we will see if we can make the most of it. A lot of juicy targets to shoot at. The Akisuki is coming around again, so I want to shoot the Akisuki. I also want to shoot the Cleveland. The Akisuki disappeared, so I decided to switch targets to the Cleveland. Also want to shoot the Tirpitz, who is just pushing us. I'm spoiled for choice, and of course my guns hit none of it. Because of obviously. Now this Tirpitz is on a mission, and that mission is to sink as quickly as possible. And you know, we are more than happy to help the Tirpitz with it. So, you know, the Tirpitz's mission is progressing as planned. Meanwhile, at the A cap, our team is... yeah, I don't know. I don't even have words for what our team is doing it. Well, I guess nothing is a good word. Meanwhile, there seems to be some sub-on-sub action somewhere in the center, and there is a Richelieu completely broadside, so shells around. We'll see how that turns out. Not a disappointment. Technically my guns aren't that bad, but realistically speaking RNG always has a say in this, and recently RNG says a lot of no. Fighter airborne. Now I'm just gonna push into the C cap here. There are only 2 destroyers left, and I mean you could argue that being a battleship I could just push directly to B like this. Maybe I could have made the turn for then. I'm not gonna do much against the destroyers unless somebody else spots them. Then again, I do have my friend in the Nostroshimi and Alaska. So we do have radar and we do have a good destroyer for spotting. Then again, we don't even know if they... oh, they are radar. Okay, so we do know they are still around. And now I can make use of that radar to utterly miss an Akisuki, probably. Meanwhile, people are still using their depth charge planes for no reason. I guess maybe people just really like the animation. Or they just think everything that's ready needs to be fired. I don't know. It's hard to say if people do it out of boredom or if people actually genuinely believe that their depth charge planes can do anything against, you know, not submarines. So I've even switched to high explosive here. Not that this increases my luck hitting anything, but if I hit, you know, it would be really nice. And back to armor piercing we go, because I highly doubt those destroyers are gonna show themselves anytime soon. Now, ideally we can cap here and then I can move towards B. Oh, Akisuki is going to be annoying and is gonna interrupt me. Well, I mean, smart move on his part, he gets the interrupt in, then disappears behind an island, so I can't retaliate. And it cost me, you know, like 20 seconds or something here of additional camping time. Now we are 1 ship ahead currently. We are losing B, although we have a Vladivostok potential to defend. And yeah, I can't shoot over this mountain. But hey, I tried. So far, oh, just lost 2 ships there. So now we are slightly behind. But B, the enemy has stopped camping. So overall, it's still a pretty close game, and don't worry, there's plenty of action to come. So it's time to move and fight for the center. Those 2 destroyers here are potentially going to be an issue. Because if, like, that's the thing. If you have destroyers like this behind you, if you just all move away, they'll come in, take the cap behind you and top you from behind. And if you try to hunt them down, you spend an awful long time of trying to hunt them down, where you're potentially not doing much. Well, I guess they aren't doing much either. Now, my division mates in the Alaska and the Nostrashini are obviously in the right ships to try to stop those destroyers. I, on the other hand, I'm just a big fat battleship, and I'm gonna do what big fat battleships should do, that's push towards the enemy. I mean, push. We will see how hard I have to push, because we hold the majority of the camps. So, in the end, all we have to do is defend the center. But being like the only tier 9 battleship in our team, I should definitely be at the front lines. And yeah, maybe I should have moved out to be a little bit sooner. Hard to say if like stopping at sea for the cap was the right move. But so far, it's not looking too bad for us. This Richelieu is getting pummeled. I hope that I can get some shots at the Fiji at some point. I'm also not in a position where I have to worry about those destroyers because my division mates keep them away from me. So I'm not gonna get topped. The Richelieu is gonna go down. Unfortunately, they are very close to flipping B. Well, this Fiji is. Question is, how long will this Fiji smoke last? And the answer is not at all. So we have a full broadside Fiji 8 kilometers in front of us. And nothing happens. Well, 5 overpens. And, you know, no wait, 8 overpens. I could have aimed slightly lower, but recently if I try to aim that low, the shells just don't hit at all for some reason, so I don't know. I do have a feeling that aiming is getting wonkier in this game, but maybe that's just me.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Then again, sometimes RNG just screws you, right? Anyway, speaking of things that screw you, hello torpedoes. Now those are so bloody obvious that, you know, it hurts me watching take them. Obviously, the Fiji was looking around this corner. Obviously, the Fiji would have torpedoed.
Problem solved, sir.
But hey. Speaking of obvious things, I'm broadside to a Colorado and the Colorado is broadside to me. Now technically, my guns are scarier and my armor is better, so I'm also trying to angle them. So, don't misunderstand, the Colorado can most certainly citadel me if I show broadside, but I'm definitely favored in this matchup, and I started to angle, which worked out quite nicely. The Colorado, on the other hand, did not. But I did get a citadel, so hey, at least there is that. Meanwhile, my division mates took care of one destroyer and they are now busy with the second one down there. Colorado is taken care of. And now we are in a pretty good position, right? We are ships-wise relatively equal. We're actually a ship ahead. But we hold 2 cap zones. So at this point we could play this just rather carefully, especially since my division mates will get the Kagero in time. So we could just wait here and let the enemy come to us. Now this Lenin of course doesn't want to wait, so he's just pushing in. And this is where I decide, you know what, let's back him up. I'm not sure if it's the right move. There isn't I think a definite answer for that. Just letting this Lenin die by himself isn't going to be the best choice. If obviously, it depends how much better we fare with me here being around, right? If it would trade 2 versus 2, it would still not be best, but it still wouldn't be that bad for us because, you know, we have some ships there, so well, let's just see how it turns out. Now, the Friesland doesn't have torpedoes, the submarine most certainly does. That's also the problem, right? We're pushing into a submarine and our options of dodging might be somewhat limited. If the submarine is towards our broadside, right? We can't show broadsides to the Gneisenau and the Lepanto. We are sort of pushing into a crossfire. The thing is, the Friesland is going to get... the thing about the Friesland is, right? Since it doesn't have torpedoes, if you push it in its smoke, it's utterly defenseless and you can just farm it. But if you are just sitting at range, then it will keep farming you. So we... Oh, the sub just showed up.
Torpedoes, direct
Okay,
front.
so the sub showed up. It's very low on dive capacity. And it's not a German one, so it can't
Torpedoes
extend
to
it.
port.
Which means we gonna... Yeah, I mean, let's give this a try. Let's see if we can't bomb this up a little bit.
The ship
There
is
we
on
go.
fire.
So I got quite a few hits into this sub. I'm trying to take care of the Friesland because, you know, that's a sneaky one. You want to take care of that. Now I'm utterly broadside to the Lepanto. See, that's the problem with this push. It has sort of pushed me into a crossfire, but... Oh, I got the sub.
Enemy submarine solved, sir.
So the sub surfaced, my secondaries got the sub. This Gneisenau now is just getting rammed by a Lenin. I mean, trying to ram a ship with torpedoes is ballsy, but it worked out for this guy. I feel like the Gneisenau could have handled this, but then again, maybe his torps were on cooldown or destroyed. And now this just leaves the Lepanto, and this was a very successful push there. I'm somehow even still alive. And there we go. So here we are with the results, and despite us having 5 ships in the end in the non, this was actually a pretty close game till the very end, right? We were pretty even-ish, and the last push is just what decided it. We just pushed in and destroyed everything. So, with the new division modules, we got ourselves a bunch of achievements. And none of them give you any benefit, but still, it looks fancy, doesn't it? So yeah, this was a fun game. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you next time.